Did you get it clean?
Ish.
Is it gonna start?
Not right now.
Hey guys, Matt with BleepinJeep. We're back at it on the little yellow TJ project. If you missed the last video, we're trying to turn this thing into the world's cheapest off-road rock crawler. Sort of, kind of. It's like a stripped down version of a rock crawler using absolutely zero budget. We bought this thing for $2,000 and we're not gonna put any money into it and turn it into a rock crawler. This is where we're at so far. While Josh was washing that, I wanted to show you what I found. I was cleaning up the inside of this tub. Josh just got out of the shower.
Pretty much.
All right, so when we were four-wheeling this the other day, if you missed that video, it was awesome. We four-wheeled it stock. These kept popping out of everywhere. I had no idea what they were. They look like little ceramic cup holders, smelly good doodads. And I just found 20 of them underneath the seat. Look at that. Maybe we should call this thing something to do with smelling bad.
And yellow.
And yellow.
P.
These things are called K29 Superstones. And I looked it up. Apparently, they're little air fresheners made out of ceramic. They cost about $2. And then thrown away 1 million of these already. I don't know what they are, but they smell too. So there's some sort of air fresheners as well. They're kind of like cardboard, maybe? Let me know if you guys know what that is. Axe body deodorant. Another air freshener scent things. We got a brush, a comb, and a receipt for a Geico, and Tamiflu.
Theraflu.
And some reading glasses.
Ooh, perfect. Axe.
Oh man. If you guys don't know me, I can't handle smells. I hate smells. Fragrant smells, I can't stand them.
You just like BO then? Straight up BO?
No, like I'm allergic. I'll start sneezing and sniffling and going nuts. Yeah, so it stinks in here to me. And now Josh stinks too.
That smelled great.
So the next, stop it. So the next thing we need to do is figure out how to get rid of this, because we need to make way on the lift in case we need to put this thing on the lift. What do you think? You think the tractor can lift that thing?
I wouldn't go too far with it.
Why?
Because when we have to figure out what we needed.
We don't need anything else off of this. Oh my gosh, that is smelly. I think we have everything we need right here. So we've got the wiring harness for the interior, we've got the gauge cluster. I don't know anything else that we would need out of there.
Do it like we did with the Dodge and strap it.
All right, so after much deliberation, we're gonna try this. There is uncertainty whether it's gonna lift it or not.
Fill the rear tires with water.
You guys wouldn't believe this, but it's the middle of the day right now. We're about to get a turd floater. Success. All right, next step, we kind of need to start thinking about seat placement, and with that, we need to start thinking about the cage. It would be really cool just to have a seat sitting there, but we want to be protected at the same time because we're going to take this thing serious rock crawl. The main problem is we've got this brake booster right here, which is kind of like where the cage needs to go. I was thinking the cage probably needs to come like through here somewhere. I still like the idea of just mounting the seat on the transmission. I think it would be great. You got all these bolts right here that would be perfect for mounting stuff.
Yeah, like the transfer case to the transmission.
Oh, like the seat to the transfer case.
You got this frame right here that would be perfect for welding into.
Then you just add more needless stuff. We're trying to make this simple. The only issue I see with that is if you had like a, 300-pound person try to drive it, it might crack something.
That's the only issue you can see with it.
Yeah, I mean, what else could go wrong? That or you get your pants caught in the drive shaft and you just wad yourself up in there. Basically, we need to figure out, I guess the first thing would be where the seat's going to sit, because that's going to tell us where the brake booster needs to sit, which is going to tell us where the cage can come through. It's kind of like you got to do this in the right order, otherwise you're going to screw things up. Or we could start tacking things. We could like get a little piece of metal and just tack the booster where we think it needs to be. Kind of go from there, but I'd like to get the seat as far forward as possible, just for funsies. We could even put it on top of the engine. Then you're not worrying about heat so much.
So if you guys are following along and building along with us, good luck.
Alright guys, we did some talking. Here's what we came up with. This is the game plan. The seat's gonna go right about here. We're gonna have a roll cage that comes from here. It's gonna go up above your head, over, and it's gonna kick down right between the brake booster here. We think we have enough room that we can take the steering wheel, and instead of zigzagging through here, see how this bends crazy straight down right here? We're just going to take that and just keep it going straight up. So the steering wheel, the next joint in the steering wheel will come here. You just made some money. Over the top of the motor, and we'll have the steering wheel sitting here. And then for the seat, we need some tubes that are gonna come up from here. They're gonna go across to each side. Instead of getting crazy and trying to do really perfect coped tubes like we typically do, we're gonna get down and dirty. We're just gonna weld 4 straight tubes off of here. We're gonna cope those, and then 2 straight tubes across. That's gonna save us a lot of time, a lot of headache, and it's gonna match the build a lot better than some fancy cage work. Oh, we'll have some little kicker bars coming down like this. Can you imagine this? I wish I could animate and kind of draw this in as we're going. We're gonna have some little kicker bars right here, and then behind that, attached to that, we'll have our harness bar. That's the plan. Hopefully everything works out. You got anything to add, Josh?
Nope, I think you covered it.
Anybody need a slightly used Jeep TJ? You want to use that tube? That tube ain't gonna hold up. We have a pile of scrap tubes right here. We're gonna save some money and just dig into here.
Nice, we had 4 of these.
You want to get in on this?
I got stuck because of the rain.
Okay, master work right there. See what happens. Hopefully the bolts line up onto. Nope, they don't.
We used those marks.
Oh. I just welded the outside of these. If we want to cut them off and move them, we can do that. Or we can make tabs for one side. What did you hit your head on this time? Ouch. I say we cut these off on the front or the back, either one, and just move them.
Okay.
Alright guys, check it out. Isn't that cool? Last night and this morning we got the seat finalized on the sliders, and now you can actually slide forward where I want to be way up here by the engine, or where Josh wants to be way back here.
Away from the engine.
Away from the engine. But what we need to do next is to get this cage done, and the reason we're doing that is because we need to mount a lot of this stuff kind of off the cage. We got the brake booster, we got the steering, we got the gas pedal, and there's a lot of components to the engine, like the computer and all the wiring harness and all that stuff that has to get put in place. Oh, I forgot that gauge cluster is going to have to go back on here. That entire wiring harness that we pulled out of the yellow TJ last night is going to have to get in here. Otherwise, the computer's not going to be very happy with us. Of course, we're not going to use most of that stuff, but at least it'll be there. And then Josh thinks that we need some sort of a firewall for safety protection. I say you just wear your fire suit.
parachute and a helmet.
We'll do something. I'm sure by the time we get the gauge cluster and all that up here, there'll be something. In my opinion, it's not really any different than a rock bouncer or a buggy.
Which have some sort of protection on them.
Not all of them. But anyway, that's what we're gonna do now. So we went and got some tube, and we need to mock that up. I actually did a drawing. Where's my drawing? I really hate the fact that the tube work is gonna make this look less like a go-kart, but we need some protection. This is my drawing. We're gonna make it super simple. Instead of trying to do all that in one bend, we're just gonna go up, make a bend once, and then we're gonna meet that with another tube, and it's gonna be super straightforward and simple with minimal tube work. Josh, sit up in that seat if you would. Okay, actually it's higher than I thought, actually. Your head, the top of your head, is 8.5 inches above the seat.
So I'm up a little bit, but I'm trying to mimic where you would be.
Well, sit down. I'm gonna sit down there next. You were really stretching there. Okay, 5 inches. Let me sit there now, and you measure.
Yeah, you're like 4 inches, 4.5.
You saying I got a short torso?
Yeah.
So typically in a vehicle you have 4 to 6 inches above your head.
Mm-hmm.
These are going to be tubes, which we don't want to be smacking on, and we're not going to really have a roof, I don't think. So maybe
If they're going to be
6 inches.
off to the side a little bit, that's a little more. But
Yeah, you don't want to smack your head this way either. So maybe 6 inches above our heads, which is how far above the seat?
5, yeah,
Be
10, 11.
11 inches above the seat. Write that down. Make a mark.
Okay.
There you go. Come back and then end it right around. All right, 105 inches. Okay. Seems legit. 73. Oh yeah. That looks like a race car. I think, is it the other direction? There it is. All right, guys, we got us a plan. What do you think of our cage so far? Hop out of the way just a second. I think it looks like a forklift, one of those heavy-duty forklifts. Josh says that we should put a spoiler on the back to give it a cool look. We have a yellow spoiler actually from a previous project that would work perfect on there. Up in the ceiling over here. So we have this plan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a tube diagonal here, a tube that comes down here on each side, and then we're gonna put a tube across the top here. What that does is add a lot of triangulation to our cage, but also protects from, let's say if you rolled over right into a tree stump or something, you don't want that just smashing your head in. So it gives a little bit more protection there. And then this adds triangulation here, also adds this kind of a shoulder protection. If you were to roll over in a stump in this area too, you don't want that just coming straight through.
That's kind of the minimum as possible to make it strong. It'll still be real strong, but with as least weight as possible to keep the center of gravity low.
The least amount of tubes. That's what you want to do with the cage, is the least amount of tubes and least curves as possible. The straighter the tubes are, the stronger your cage is going to be. Obviously, the more tubes you add, the stronger it's going to be, but the heavier it's going to be too. So the heavier it is, you're adding more crushability there as well. It's kind of a give and take, whether you want to be light and nimble or super heavy and kind of safe. Once again, we've completely messed up the shop floor. Hop in there, Josh. Watch out, it's hot. Oh man.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Somehow we have a foot above your head instead of just the 6 inches that we had planned. There you go. You were just slouching at first.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so this is the cage. This is what the cage is gonna look like. We're finished. We might do something on the back here, of course, cut those off or put spikes or do something silly. But otherwise, that's our cage. We are beat. It's been a long day. I think that's the fastest cage we've done yet.
Probably. Came in a day.
So tomorrow we're gonna come back and we're gonna start working on the brakes and the steering wheel. I think that should be the next, no?
I mean, I'm not going to.
Why?
Because today's Friday.
Today's Friday?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Holy cow. Okay, well, we'll be right back on Monday. And just like that, it's Monday. We've got people mowing, we've got sprinklers going off, we've got planes flying over. We never get a break with the audio. Josh, it seems like we were just at this like 5 minutes ago. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a good weekend, yes.
Good.
Something accomplished.
What'd you do?
I got a Bumble going.
Oh my goodness. Josh is gonna have the Bumble ready to do some wheeling finally. People have been asking, where has the Bumble been?
The Bumble has been broken, so I thought the engine was done, and it's not. It's hurt. It smokes a little bit, but it's all right for now. But the transfer case exploded. I got another transfer case. Thank you to whoever that was that helped me out on that. It's rebuilt. It's back in. It's ready to go.
Josh needs a free Atlas. If anybody's got a free Atlas sitting around out there, he could really use one. We went to a movie this weekend, and then I went sailing with my neighbor yesterday and learned how to sail for the first time ever. The weekend went by so fast, it seems like you and I were just working on this thing
It does.
yesterday. Coming back in this morning, looking at this thing again for the first time, it looks ridiculous, but that's what we're going for, I guess. Function over form, so hopefully that plays out in our favor. Josh is getting some brake lines going because we had another brake line pop that was rusted, and what I want to try to do is get the brakes working and the steering working today, so that's our goal. Think we can do that?
I think we can do that. Some creativity.
All right, let's get after it. I think my first goal is going to be to take this thing off. Oh wow, look at that. Super simple. This thing is crooked. It could be straight. Might as well just come up over here instead of zigzag under through there. So I'll work on that. Then we need to get this brake booster in a spot where we can actually sit here and reach it. Right now it's like outside the vehicle. So all we should have to do is unbolt that right here and just fold it up. Now Josh, I know you like cruise control, but I don't think we're gonna need cruise control on this. Alright, got this up through here. Let's see what happens with the steering column. That's pretty good right there. Alright, so we've got this bar that we're going to just tack in for now and make sure that that's going to be in the right spot for steering wheel. And then we'll come off of this with some tabs and we'll bolt this down. Yeah. After we get that all mounted up, then we'll figure out how to get from there down to there. That's going to be the tricky part. So it comes down, goes across. Those bends aren't actually that bad. They're not much worse than what the factory bends were. I have to clear that, shorten this guy, and then just go directly into here. All right, we're getting closer there, but the lunch lady just called. She says it's time for lunch. By the way, do you guys know about these BleepinJeep koozies we have on the website? Those are super handy. You could leave that right on the side of your Jeep. Forget all about it. It'll still be there tomorrow. Everybody wants to know what you made for lunch today.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Sunflower chicken. Sunflower seed chicken.
There's sunflower seeds in there.
Yeah. And Parmesan and panko. Rolls and taters and salad with some honey Dijon dressing.
Mmm. Sounds delicious.
And of course I froze your bowls because you're a weirdo.
It's like baseball chicken?
Baseball chicken? Yes. You can only have this if you go to a baseball game, so let's go.
Getting my rabbit on.
Let's see. Initial taste test.
No.
Have you tried it yet?
Well, I can't judge my own food. That would be...
Yes, you can. Go.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
You can judge your own food.
Oh my God.
What's your opinion on those tamales?
Shut up, Josh. We're not talking to Josh for the rest of the day.
Found some brackets over there. It's got 3 holes, which will be nice because then it'll have some play in it. So we're gonna put that through hole number 2. And then we're just gonna tack it up. Guess we gotta do this one first, huh? All right, how's that feel?
Not bad.
You can do it. There it is. Never come out of there. I guess it would come out here.
Yeah.
Push. Alright guys, check it out. Here's what we came up with. So we got a joint here. Had some of this double D stuff. You got female and male. The double D is basically just pieces of tube that are shaped like a double D, and they're used in steering joints because they don't, it's not like a circular tube where it just slips. It's keyed. Found this, had this just sitting around somewhere. You can also use Heim joints on this double D stuff. Didn't have one that fit around it perfectly. I bet you we do for the smaller stuff. Though,
Yeah,
if that would be more helpful.
This one's pretty close.
You can use Heim joints on this double D like this, or in this case, it's just a bearing with the plate to bolt stuff to. And then that runs right over here. Will that go up higher? That's gonna have to be just right to clear the motor. And then that goes over and up the steering wheel. Let's see if this will turn the wheels. Oh yeah. So when you have multiple joints like that, though, you have to have something to hold in between each joint, or in between every 2 joints, I guess. So we need to make a mount now that will hold this to the frame. Alright guys, here's what we've got. So everything is working, but these angles are really steep. They would work. They're pretty tight, and you can kind of feel a little bit of a bind whenever it goes around the corner there. Now we can't get any straighter because of the power steering fluid reservoir right here. Ideally we want to come right through here, but it's in the way. But check this out. So this is Sassy Pants. This is one of our Versus vehicles that we just have sitting around. And the YJs came with a remote mount power steering fluid reservoir. So we're gonna take this pump off and see if it will fit on that TJ. And if so, we'll just swap pumps, because I don't see any reason why that pump and reservoir wouldn't fit over here and vice versa. So we'll give that a shot here and see what happens. What are the chances that's actually going to come loose? Oh. Okay, time to see if she fits. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's going to be perfect. Alright, check it out guys. I think that's gonna work. The reservoir is now over here, and we have a lot more room to play with. So we're gonna cut this back off, shove it in, try to make it straighter, see what we can do there, and then we will make a new bracket for here. And Bob's your uncle?
Finish your it?
It'll be fine. Try this again. What's that? Oh wait, something fell down in here.
It's still got a little bit, but
Better?
a lot better.
It's probably something you don't typically feel because you're not doing this either. I don't think these bends are any harsher than the one
Oh no.
That was down here to begin with. That is our steering all tacked up. I need to finalize that by welding it. And I think it's almost the end of the day and we still haven't even got to the brakes yet. This part right here is the pivot for the adjuster on the steering wheel, which we have kept for whatever reason, just because it's easy. But the steering wheel will still be able to pivot
Right now it's
up and down. What if you just came off of here, back to here, instead of coming all the way from the outside?
just strength. Instead of hanging everything off these two.
It'll be fine.
You don't think it'll be stronger?
Depends on what you make it out of,
2 pieces of tube.
I guess. All right, we'll do that. But first, I'm having a hard time finding all the tools. Let's do a 5-minute tool cleanup. All right, guys, it's a new week. We just got back from the BleepinJeep Monkey Ball Crawl. Stay tuned for that video. That was a good one. So the BleepinJeep Monkey Ball Crawl is our huge fan ride that we haven't done in probably 4 years, and we just revised that this year and had a good time out at Windrock. Tons of people showed up. We had guided rides, probably 6 or 7 guided rides on Friday and Saturday. Huge night ride on Friday night. Super fun, bonfire, music, all kinds of great stuff. So check that video out. It's time to get back to work on this thing. A lot of people said we should call it something to do with banana. Matt's Off-Road might get a little upset with us about that. But we're gonna change it up a little bit. I'm still determining what we should call it. But while I was at the Monkey Ball Crawl, I had an epiphany of what we could do with this Jeep. So we're building this Jeep on a budget, and our next big thing that we're doing is the BleepinJeep Beast Wars. And if you haven't heard of that, what we did is we invited anybody and everybody to submit videos to be a part of a $5,000 budget build challenge. We already have 8 competitors that have made it successfully into that, and they are building their Jeeps or their vehicles as we speak. And I thought, you know, since this is a budget build as well, I thought this could be the benchmark of what is achievable on a budget. So this is my announcement, I guess, that this build is going to be the benchmark of what we can do on a budget, and we're going to take this to the BleepinJeep Beast Wars and use it as the time to beat vehicle for the BleepinJeep Beast Wars. It's going to be on a smaller budget, so hopefully the competition will be able to keep up. If you haven't heard of the BleepinJeep Beast Wars, you guys should go back and watch those videos. But our competitors are Last Chance Living, Dan Van Warmer, 6 Feet Under Fab, of course Dex J's, Hustle House, Atwood's Garage, Russ Billy Customs, and the 3 Amigos. So all those guys made it into the challenge, and they're gonna meet with me in October here in Tennessee, and we're gonna go head to head, or they're gonna go head to head. This is just gonna be the benchmark. I won't be a part of the challenge. We'll just set the pace. Well, look who decided to show up. Josh. So one of the things I've been having an issue with on this build in particular is the looks. A lot of times I like to make my builds kind of artistic, very visually appealing, and this one is none of that. And I'm having a hard time with it because, I don't know, it's just ugly and I don't like it. I don't like it to be ugly. But I'm trying to put that to the side. It's not about looks. This one is about function, and it is what it is. What we're having to do now is try to figure out places to attach all of this junk that goes along with the motor. I think what I'm gonna do, it's not gonna be super attractive, but I made up this bar this morning, and it's just gonna go right here, and then we'll mount plates and stuff off of that to attach all of the computer and the fuse box and all that stuff. We also need to install the gas pedal somewhere around here, the brake booster over there, 4-wheel drive selector, and the shifter I think is going to sit up here somewhere. So that's what we're up to today. Alright, so what we did, we sat here, we tried to figure out where the gas pedal was going to be, put some blocks right there. Looks like it can either be here or it can be on the outside, which we think might be a little dangerous. So we decided to put the gas pedal right there, and this we'll go something like that, if that makes sense. But then we realized, what did we realize we forgot?
You need to put the battery somewhere.
So I was thinking we could put the battery behind the seat, but then that adds extra cost. So instead of doing that, I think what I'll do is I'll cut this back off and try and fit the battery right in here by the alternator. That's my next plan. Josh is working on exhaust over there. Alright, so I had to take this bar back off. I'm gonna have to redo that, but first I gotta figure out how to get this battery to sit right here. I'm gonna put it on the spring, on the top of the spring there. So I found this, got some angle iron, got a flat piece of steel, and I'm gonna make a little, basically just a corner like that, so the battery will sit there, and then I'll have a post come up from here where I just cut that off a minute ago. I think that'll work. We'll see how that works. This is not in any way fancy, but I think that's what we're going for. There. Oh yeah. Look at that. Golden. Golden. Let's try going to a different spot down there. Oh yeah. There we go. That's tighter. Oh yeah! Now we're cooking. Now we got something there. Yeah. Look how fancy that looks. Doesn't that look great?
That looks great. I love it.
Alright guys, after a few iterations and failed mistakes, this is what I came up with for this side here. Got a battery hold down, got this to hold the grill back in place. Got this thing to add things to. Also what we're going to attach to here is the gas pedal. I think we decided to add the gas pedal up a little higher than we had anticipated. So it's going to get mounted right here. And then, I don't know if this will work out or not, but I've been working on this little foot tray here to hold your foot. We'll see if that works out. I'm not sure about that, but the welder was in use and I needed something to do. So I think that's going to be about it right there. I'm gonna tack that in and make sure that that works before I go crazy on this weld. Alright, so we've got that tacked in. There's a lot of throw on that gas pedal, but once you get the throttle cable attached there, there's really not that much throw from idle to full send. So this part needs to get attached permanently somewhere, and we can adjust that back and forth depending on where we want our foot to be here, whether it be down here or even way up there. Pretty good. Alright, got the footrest there. Gas pedal here. Now I just need to make something that will hold this part of the throttle cable. So that is a 1/2 inch square, and I've got just some scrap steel. We will cut a hole, a square hole into this, then we'll measure that out and just weld it into place there and slip this through it. That would be pretty difficult to do, but luckily we've got these 911 Motorsports templates to make a square hole with that. So we'll just use the plasma torch and cut it out. Alright, check this out guys. This is a lot harder to figure out than we expected. So that's not bad right there, but it feels like my heel should be lower. Can't really go lower though because the starter is right here. If we go too much higher, we're gonna be like almost in our line of vision there. But I think we cut right here, move that up. This pivot point should be more closer to the ball of your foot rather than right there in the middle of your foot. So it needs to go up 2 or 3 inches. What do you think of that, babe?
I mean, that's amazing.
Look, everybody, it's the lunch lady.
I don't have lunch. I just had Dr. Pepper.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I put it in the fridge for you.
All right, got it cut off, moved up. Now I gotta clamp it or ground it. I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna tack it, check it. See how that works. Oh, can't weld it without it grounded. Good enough for government work. How's it feel, Josh?
Perfect.
Just make sure you wear shoes so you don't cut your heel. Now the only issue is all that space that I made to mount stuff to is now gone because we welded all this junk to it. I don't know, maybe we can get this up high and put this underneath it here and maybe the computer on this side.
This sits up high.
I can still fit that on there
Probably
somehow.
still sit right there.
I made sure it would fit. It fits. So I might just move this thing that direction. Oh my goodness. I think we're gonna get some rain. Just a little sprinkle? Why are you putting a drive shaft over here? So Josh is welding up a drive shaft on the passenger side here. You need me to tack it or something? Will you hold it?
Yeah.
That's gonna be stinky for a little bit right there. There it comes. How's the exhaust looking?
It's getting there.
So now that we have the gas pedal, the gas pedal's way up there. The brake pedal, it wants to be way up here. So that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna try to bust these free so that we don't mangle these while we're getting this situated. I would have to literally sit like this. Check these things out, guys. We got these on Amazon, I think, right? It's just a plug. Fits right in there. It's not just a plug. It actually has a inverse flare on the end of that to stop that up and keep it from spewing all over the place. Actually got these for brake line stoppers too if you're on the trail and you need to plug one up to keep going without it leaking everywhere. Check that out. So Josh took those cats off and the exhaust.
The cats seemed like they were getting pretty hot. I cut them open and repaired them, so now they won't get as hot anymore.
You repaired them?
I repaired them. Their foot's gonna be here, and those cats run about 1,500 degrees.
Oh yeah, might as well put some popcorn seeds in your shoe. Thing's looking good so far. I mean, not looking good, but it's looking good. Oh yeah, it looks fast. Looks really fast. All right guys, up next, we got the shifter. This is to get this thing into drive. And we had a really great idea. We were gonna put it right here, but then we connected the cable and the cable is too short. So then we had another idea. We could put it on the left side, but that's kind of weird because your thumb would be on the wrong side. I thought maybe, and this is where it goes like factory position, and it actually fits quite nicely there. So I think we're gonna take that, just weld it in place right there. We won't be able to really hop out this side easily, but you don't typically get out on the right side anyway when you're driving a horse, so. Right, Josh?
Right.
You always get off on the left side of your horse.
Yeah.
So the other things we have is e-brake cable. I think we can still make that work. Right here, that's factory position as well from your driver's seat. The odd thing that we're gonna have to figure out is the four-wheel drive selector. It wants to sit naturally right here. Now we could do a cable shifter, and I think we actually gave one away at the monkey ball.
Oh, did we?
The other day, yeah.
Amazon, 45 bucks for the whole assembly.
So we could do a cable shifter, or
Find a
we
place
could just find a good spot for that. The only problem is we got to make sure that the seat, that might not work. We could extend
that.
We could extend this by welding another piece on it and have this sitting maybe up here.
We have to mount this piece in somewhere too, because that's what holds the...
I think that's what holds this over here.
Oh yeah,
So
okay, so that's gonna have to mount there. We can extend this out and bend it around however it needs to be.
All right, I think we got a game plan. What do you think? I've gotten non-nimble in my last couple years.
We start calling you old man when we gotta call your dad.
Old man.
Old man.
That's great. Ooh. Check that out. Got the shifter welded in there. Working on the four-wheel drive shifter here. The skid plate is off of there, getting painted. Over here, also getting painted, is the fan. Holy cow, look at that. Got the shifter mechanism welded up there, and it just needs to get welded in there. But then I got to figure out how to mount that on the aluminum transmission somehow. So I haven't quite figured out that just yet, but that's going to be for the next video, because we're going to end this one right here. I think we've got a good start though on the Beast Wars Pace vehicle, and we're doing it for $2,000. I'm going to go ahead and count in when we're done how much tube and extra stuff that we put in here, but it's really not a lot. We're reusing almost everything. But if there is anything that I add, you know, we did use some tube here, some flat steel, some tube. We used some flat steel over here for the skid plate. Any of that stuff I'm gonna add in. I think we need to get a winch too off of Facebook Marketplace. It's not gonna be a rock crawler without a winch. And if you guys tell me you don't need a winch because you're too good, then you're not wheeling hard enough. Stay tuned for our next video, and we'll see you then. Make sure to subscribe and hit that little notification bell. That really helps us out a lot. Thank you guys so much for your support. We'll see you next time.